share it with Periscope, wherever you want to share it. But share the video. We are here. It's the Freedom Team with Donna Jackson. We are here live, gsradionetwork.com. My name is BBS Samad.
Yeah.
That's right. I think you are honorary member already.
I think you just did it.
I think.
Welcome to the Freedom Team.
There it is. We have a new member.
Is there any dues or anything? Let me know.
There's no dues.
If there's any dues,
Miss Donna, you paid your dues already. The city of Newark received your dues a long time ago.
I'm in the family. Y'all know I don't got the $20, but I need somebody to.
There we go.
Cash
Cash out Miss Donna dues.
Or Lady Champagne, get that $20 in for me.
Make it happen.
On
Make it
behalf
happen.
of.
That's what it
Y'all
is.
know I need to be on this team. Honorary or not, but I gotta add.
Yeah. No, we not
And that's
paying,
just love
but
for
you hit.
everybody, so thank you. But you know that every time there's a meeting, radio talk show, there's a meeting before, we had already started. And then there's a meeting after, which we was outside, we enjoy. And then there's gonna be the in-between, and then there's gonna be the finished product.
That's right.
But on a serious note, they are talking on the state level about the juvenile reform. And in our community, we need to be a part of it. Because what we don't need to happen is, of course, I don't wanna see mass incarceration. But when we're talking about issues that are confronting our community right now, and unfortunately, as one who responds to too many of these shootings, too many of these murders, has been involved in this victim crime process at the prosecutor's office, helping people from their family, and care for their children at the hospital, and then all of that comes after. Like if I got shot on 19th Street, I can't go back and sleep on 19th Street. And you have to enable the system to get some assistance to move, because it's not that easy. You can't just decide because now I'm a victim that I want to get up and move, because that process is no longer a simple process that you can get. But I don't need to be in that area anymore, because either I did something, they think I did something, somebody told me something. So all of that ties into the youth facility. And Joey and I were talking at the door about this in terms of them feeling some community support. And one of the things that has really been troubling to me is to see anybody flip-flopping on this issue that's in the capacity to make this happen. So I'm talking about the governor, I'm talking about the state legislature, I'm talking about the local legislature, I'm talking about the county. Because the county is going to be the integral piece in this, because we already have a new facility. Does that facility need to be updated? It's been about 3 years since I've been in there, probably so. There probably need to be some things that are going on. They have so many children in there right now. There's no telling what it's looking like in terms of
Get some infrastructure.
Facility, right.
And what they have in terms of systems to make it happen, what those classrooms look like, where they're taking.
Well, even in terms of services, like we
Nina.
spoke about, it's not enough just to house the youth. We have to put some structure and some services in place so that when they come out, they're prepared to be members of society like we intend for them to be.
Just pull you. There you go.
So, and in terms of that, there are like the new Donna Payne Tech School that's on 9th Avenue. At this very moment, we could take those children from that facility and they could go there and do those trade classes immediately. See, that's not something that's requiring an $800 million bond so that we can put another, because we just put that building up for our children. And regardless to where our children fit in the spectrum, the ones that go there during the day are getting what they need. The ones who are in that youth house need to have those services available. They do carpentry in there, they do auto shop, they do, they got a legal.
I didn't know
Yeah,
either.
listen, because my babies go there. Y'all know
That's right.
I'm going to make sure that everybody who is within my reach get into the best that they're doing what they need to do. And it's not that the rest of the schools are not doing what they need to do, but we need, as we were talking about education a little earlier, we need to beef it up all the way across the board. If you look at the state test scores, if you look at what's going on out in the community and around and about, none of our children are doing well in terms of where we should be in terms of the global and national scheme. We're not where we should be in any district in New Jersey. New Jersey right now ranks 46th in the country out of 52. That's not good at all. And I'm talking about that's with everybody. That's with the white, the black, the suburban, urban, and rural. We're not. That's with the public, charter, Catholic. That's what everybody. We're not right where we need to be. So let's be clear first that we are at the very low spectrum of this pendulum, and that we need to have conversations as to how we get there. But we have to be clear that those things need to be connected and that there is an immediate solution, since we are talking about reform. Every county has county vocational schools. So in those vocational schools, you are tracked. You go in your freshman year, you get to explore 4 shops. So let's say you want to do radio, let's say you want to do construction, let's say you want to do cosmetology, and let's say the fourth choice would be culinary arts. We need to get our children into culinary arts because as we are talking about schools, we need to put those cooks back in the schools. That babies, we won't say the schools on air. How lunch is, and the baby said the lunch is horrible. So, with that being said, most children say that, no matter who you ask. That they're not liking the lunch, that they don't finish the lunch, that it's not nutritious, it's not tasty.
He actually works in the school, and he was talking about most of the kids throw their lunch, like 50% of the kids throw their lunch away.
And a good 10% throws it up.
Get your mic.
A good 50% throws the lunch away, and those that eat it, a good 10 to 20% throw up after. So it's obviously a rejection process that their bodies are going through.
Right, that's a visceral rejection.
And also to no avail, empty calories for an adult is worse on a growing body of a kid because their bodies are constantly changing. And let's just face it, the food that we were getting in public school 30 years ago was much better. It was actually more cooked food 30 years ago in school. I don't know to what ends. Well, yeah, we do. They want to do more with less. They want to do more with less, and they're cutting costs. And they're cutting costs at the health expense of our youth. All of these companies, the Airmarks, the Sodexos, Evolution Foods, to name a few.
And that's a new company.
They're coming in. They're coming in our communities with a bid premise to outbid these schools for the contracts to give the kids lunch.
Yep.
So with that, the number one thing that the schools are doing is saying, well, what are you going to do in your budget? And I'm quite sure that they're preparing meals for maybe the board members to eat and the higher ups like the superintendents and stuff. But those are not the meals that our kids are getting on a daily basis.
No.
Not even a fragment, because I'm quite sure if you serve an executive or a school administrator processed chicken, they're going to be looking at you like, are you kidding right now?
Exactly.
So it's a stark contrast from what they're advertising to what the kids are actually getting. And to influx, you know what they're doing right now in certain schools to make the lunch more appetizing. They're giving the kids a bag of Cheetos with lunch. So you didn't.
Your daughter was just.
You didn't want to. You didn't.
I'm not gonna squeal on the baby.
They didn't want to give you something tasty. So what they'll do is give you something lackluster and give you a great snack with it, so that it makes it more appealing. So what ends up happening is that kids isn't stupid. They know they don't like it, but they'll take the lunch because it's a free bag of Cheetos, and maybe they don't have $1 that day to go to the counter and get a bag of Doritos. So all they're gonna do is eat the Cheetos, maybe drink the milk. It's gonna be summertime. It's hot. You get that swirly feeling in your stomach, and there you go. So not for nothing.
Hey, Nina.
Not for nothing. When we go up to protest education, we need to go up and also protest nutrition, because it's very beneficial, especially when these kids are taking tests and they want to make sure that kids are getting free lunch, and that's a noble gesture. But what's free if it's not nutritional?
How about
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. So in terms of that, let me just say this. I know for a fact that North Public Schools, when they eat that lunch, they're not eating what the kids eat for lunch. They order from King's, Soul Food Chest House, and these board members are not eating what our children are consuming. That's why they're not, in line and know what's being served. And I know at one board meeting about 3 years ago, we brought school lunches to the board meeting to ask them to eat them. So I'm going to encourage every parent within the listening of my voice to go get a school lunch from your school and maybe order 9 of them, and because they're only $2 each.
Right.
And take them to the board members and at your board meeting and ask your board members to eat them. They won't. So if you're not going to eat it, then why do you want to serve that to our children?
All day.
Because it's just wrong. So when, in terms of,
You got a call? Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
go
We're gonna
ahead.
take a call real
we
quick.
have a call. Thank you for calling in. Let me put that number in the feed again.
Okay.
That's right. That's right.
God.
better do that.
Yeah.
All right. All right, caller. Caller. Hello, caller. Caller? Hi, who's calling? Who is this? Oh my God. I have the strangest friends in the world. Only the Reaper would call my show.
How you
Only
doing?
somebody called the Reaper would call my show.
Hey, fam.
What's going on, brother? How are you? I can't complain. I can't complain. Say what's up to the Freedom Team for me. Say what's up to the Freedom Team.
How you
Peace,
doing?
brother. Peace, peace.
Okay, we don't want
Coming
no
from-
problems.
Calling from Georgia. That's what's up, brother. How you? Oh yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Okay, fam, let me. While he on. This lady Joy.
Brochures in the building.
Okay. We have a question for the Freedom Team from the caller on the phone.
Okay, what did he say?
Do you think the President of the United States needs to be impeached? It's not on our topic, but since he's calling all the way from Georgia, let's go ahead and answer this question.
Should he be impeached?
Yes.
He should have never been president.
How about that?
Only in America will we have a serious social experiment. Will we have a practical
Hey, everybody.
a practical business blunderer as president?
Yeah.
He hasn't done any good business within the last 4 years. If you look up his track record, as to no avail, it has been said that he has not been able to get any loans from any American banking institution because of his failed business practices. Hence why he took his show abroad, and hence why there has been so much allusion to Russian inclusion in our election. To no avail, the American people have been definitely taken advantage of. And if you're still believing in the election process, then, shame on you. Unfortunately, we're forced into this doctrine because of years of inoculation with voting counts and everything, where periodically in our own time period, we see where the vote doesn't count. We've witnessed it twice within the last 30 years. One with the Gore election and one with this past election, where the popular vote really doesn't matter. So what the people want often goes against what the graybeards demand us go through. So the graybeards demanded us to go to Donald Trump. Now, what I would ask the American people is how we're going to get over Donald Trump and how we're not going to let this happen again, and how we're going to actually. Let's do it.
And also, thank you so much, Paula, for calling. To answer your question and yours as well, he has to be impeached. Because if we do not get him out of office, he has to be impeached, because if we do not get him out of office and he runs again, he will be reelected. So we have to impeach him, and even if it's Pence next, there's an election that comes after that. So Pence does not automatically get another 4 years. We have to get this guy out of office as quickly as possible, because he was elected once, like you said, erroneously and with a whole lot of BS. If we allow him to run again, he will win again. So the only injunction that we have at this point as a people, as a nation, to impeach. I understand we don't want Pence, but you guys have to understand that the next step in the process after impeachment, we'll have him for a little while. But then there's an election, and Trump can't run. If he runs again, he will win again. We are upset, but his base is not. He is making a lot of people happy. He's making a lot of people a lot of money, including the Russians. And the same setup that he had last time to get in office, he'll have again. So we have to get him out now, because if he runs again, he's going to win.
Caller, does that answer your question?
They win by a larger margin.
Okay, and let me,
Does that answer your
and
question?
let me be the devil's advocate and really flip your wig there down
Uh-oh.
in Georgia, sir.
Uh-oh.
in this next election, if he's not impeached, black folks are going to vote for Trump. And let me tell you why.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you why.
now this is getting scary.
Y'all can ooh-ah if you want. In this country right now, in our local areas right now, there is a war, unfortunately, going on, addressed and unaddressed, in the black and Latino community. Every work site you look on, there's an illegal immigrant working. You look at that and you say, hey, why Raheem, Pookie, Ibn, and Carlos Josue that live here not working on that site? Because they can come in, they doing the slave labor, okay? I advocate for...
Huh? Oh no, we didn't know this part two.
Well,
give us 2 seconds. We almost finished with part one.
Yeah, let me just throw this other monkey wrench out here while you get ready to shut it all the way down.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a legitimate question too, because we struggle with that question not only on the national level but also on the local level as well. Right now in the state of New Jersey, there are 7 recall actions going on as we sit here. Now, they didn't make the mark in Orange, but clearly the people of Orange weren't happy, and that's what we're supposed to do when we're not happy with any elected official. We're supposed to take some action. We need to make a decision, like you just said. Do we want him to sit there? So the other question, the other reason I'm bringing this point up is because this is a legitimate, it's a legitimate concern in terms of, I don't even want to put it on the border. I want to put it in terms of work. I want to put it in terms of those of us who live here having equal opportunity to jobs. So some of the conversations now are shifting. If you go through Irvington, you see up at the Auto Zone on Springfield Avenue, there's a group of day labor, but there's now a group of Mexican, Honduran, Spanish day laborers on this side of the parking lot, and then over here now you have the African American, the Africans, and the French, Creole. I'm Haitian. Thank you. I'll just bring it all in, cause so now you have the brown and the black, the lighter black, the lighter brown on both sides of the aisle, who are now saying, okay, we all need to, if you coming through to pick up 5 people for labor, it doesn't always have to be them. And if you tie that economically into what's going on, then you begin to understand the paradigm. And let me just throw this in there to make y'all even more excited. Let's look in the public housing complex. Let's take two townhouses. Joy lives in townhouse A. I live in townhouse B. My name is Carmen. That's Joy. I have 3 children. Joy has 3 children. Joy works part-time, but Joy also receives public assistance for her children. So Joy gets $388 a month from welfare, plus her part-time salary. Joy is bringing in less than, now I said $322 a month, $88 a month, plus her part-time salary, bringing home $120 a week. That's all I'm gonna give her. So that's 1, 2, 3, that's 480. Right, plus the 4, so she bringing less than $800 a month home. In townhouse B, where Carmen lives, aka me, I have 3 children. Because my children speak Spanish, I'm eligible for SSI. So each one of my children get SSI at $736 a month if there's no disability. So that's 7, that's 14. That's $2,100. Me, Carmen, if I go apply for and don't want to work, if I apply for SSI, SSD, I get $921.
So basically what you're saying is that
So
when you
that's
think about the
$3,000.
immigration issue, it's more of an economic issue for us, which is why the black people will end up voting for Trump. Because at some point we're going to equate the point that our livelihoods are being taken from us, supposedly, and that because other people are making more than us, even if it's off of our own system, we're at a disadvantage. Let's see what the next.
We have another caller. My brother Reaper. I thank you for this call.
Yes, and let me just throw this in there real quick. And there is a undertone conversation being had, particularly on the illegal immigrant side, that they're not even paying into the Social Security system and they're getting benefits. How many people have people in their family who have been injured on the job and we waiting 4 and 5 years? So There's a legitimate conversation without us tearing each other down that needs to be had, as with this immigration piece with the children. Like I just said, the diapers versus the children being taken away from their parents when they come in, the same thing is going on. So, caller, go ahead.
Pleasure is mine. Reaper, I appreciate you, brother. Hit me late like tomorrow or something, all right? Pleasure is mine. I appreciate you. Next caller, you're live with the Freedom Team. And Miss Donna Jackson, what's going on? Oh, they got to call, but they hung up. Sorry, whoever that was calling, call back. We didn't mean to have you holding on so long, but we were taking a call from my man Reaper, which kind of brought us to a whole other conversation. Right. And now I am really intrigued because I can't understand anybody with this complexion voting for the man that's in office. But you had some great points that I haven't even considered.
Right.
So let's see what this caller got to say, and real quick before we get back to that. Okay. Hey, caller, you are live with the Freedom Team. What's your question?
Hey, Donna, how are you?
How you doing?
I am awesome. Quick question for you. So, I don't know if it's a different topic, but today we have a lady come in with a child who is homeless. She slept in a stairwell the last 2 nights. The problem is she lives in North, her daughter's in registration and was moved to some since November, but she doesn't have any North or New Jersey CID. So therefore, no one in the county is going to help her. What do we do with a situation like this? And not just her, but people that are homeless in general. Like, we have to do that. So what do you think our next step is?
Well, the first step that we all need to take is to get to that county freeholder board, which is held every other Wednesday, because what is happening that is creating a lot of this homelessness and also people losing their homes is because now the TRA payments aren't being made. TRA is temporary rental assistance, and those payments are made in lieu of people going to shelters. I am one who does not agree that anybody should go into a shelter where we're going to pay the shelter $40 to $100 a day for a family to be in there when they could be in an apartment.
Right.
I think that young lady, this system, the state did put in place a extension of what's called emergency extension for housing. What's happening now is, though, that if she doesn't receive anything from welfare because she's maxed out her 5 years for a lifetime, the only county that's giving people a problem with that is Essex. Essex is horrible. We are the worst. We are the most corrupt county in this country. And I'll challenge anybody to find a county more corrupt than ours. If you do send it to me, I'll stand to be corrected. I love it.
The next
more information for me.
The next closest is Hudson.
Yes, but we I think that young lady needs to sidebar. I think you need to text me. Let's see if we can help her. But the unfortunate part, like you said, Lisa, there are hundreds of people who were sleeping in their cars for the last year. Now they've lost a car. And because we're doing so much ticketing and towing and traffic enforcement, the moment the car was a safe haven, and now the moment the registration is out, when they ride through this North Parking Authority, who is greedy for revenue, and they ride through and the registration comes back expired, they are now towing that person's car who has enough to deal with to try to feed the family and sleep in the car, to put a couple of dollars to the side to be able to wash the clothes, to try to keep their children clean. I want you to call me when I get off. Let's see what we can do for this lady. But the unfortunate part is there are no beds. I don't care what the mayor, I don't care what the county. The county is sitting on $6 million of homeless dollars right now. That's Joe DiVincenzo.
Say that again, because Joe DiVincenzo stopped in the lie. He on here?
Good. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
He was in here earlier.
That's my friend. He know I love him. But the truth is the truth. We talked about the horrible services in terms of community services. The parks look wonderful. Nobody can't sleep in the damn park. The zoo looks great. Nobody can't sleep at the zoo. People need resources to help them right now. I did a live today at La Casa Don Pedro. Let me just engage myself from the Justice family for 1 minute. these comments and the champagne room. Let me be clear so that there's no problem. Just in addressing some issues, sometimes people need to know not the who, but what entity. And that's the problem in terms of civic class that we need to do. You guys need to understand what level of government is responsible for what. The feds send money down to the state disperses those into the counties disperse those into the cities. Cities like Newark, Jersey City, and Patterson receive their own pots of money from the federal government because we are the largest entities in the state of New Jersey. So we kind of get a little double dip in terms of resources that come in. The problem becomes, like you said, Lisa, the actual boots to the ground in terms of people being able to get services. There are hundreds, I would beg to say thousands of homeless families right now because, Joy, guess what? If it's your apartment, but I'm living with you as your sister, as my, with my 3 kids, I'm homeless. I ain't on your lease, and I can't go on your lease. And we got to do like the Claudine movie for those of us that's over 40. Amen. Claudine was the welfare movie. When the husband came, he had to hide in the closet. They had to put the toaster in there, and we're getting back to that. So not to take anything away from Lisa, what's going on, but 973-342-2697. Lisa, if you don't have my number, as soon as we're done on this, call me and let me see what I can do to try to help this young lady, because I mean, it's the most hurtful thing to have people reach out to try to get assistance and not be able to help them. Yeah. And there are very few resources seriously out here that are helping people. She may have to go to New York. I know we're going through a little battle right now, but in New York, you go there, they will take you, they will house you. If you find a place, they will pay your rent for a year to 2 years. I don't know why New Jersey doesn't do that. And I guess because we really don't care about homeless people and homeless families. But Lisa, we may have to take her over there. So just call me as soon as I'm done. If I can, find.
Right.
Yeah, please, because let's try to help her, because let me tell y'all, let me just say this, and thanks for that call, Lisa. The increase in suicide in our community is at an alarming rate, and we cannot continue to sit back and not talk about that. To get into a level of depression where you talking about taking your life, where we've seen people and everybody, oh, how she could kill herself and her kids. Well, damn it. If I can't take care of mine, now I'm not talking about me personal because I can't see myself doing it, but I guess if I'm pushed off this table and my resources is cut off and I can't take care of myself, I've exhausted every piece of help that Joy can give me. I done borrowed $1,000, I only got $2,000 from them. They got families to take care of. I said, I'll pay you back when the income tax check came. The income tax check came, I owe such and such money. They done took it out of my money, so I can't give you $2,000. I can't even face Joy. I don't even call her and say, Joy, you know what, I don't have the money. I'm sorry, because I'm so ashamed. You know what I mean? Because it was my word.
The mental health aspect.
Yes.
The things that you're mentioning now are what comes to the mind of a right-minded, stable-minded individual. But if you have a syndrome, an anxiety disorder, a schizophrenia, a touch of antisocial personality disorder, you're not thinking rationally. So your options are not rational.
Right.
You're not reaching out because the things that you're telling yourself don't make sense. So for us rational-minded people, yeah, I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to reach out. I'm going to, try to get on top of my situation. But when you add that mental health component, when you're not in your right mind, anything is optional to you. And it's unfortunate.
Absolutely.
That's the piece I think that we have to pay much more attention to. We had a small conversation outside earlier about the 15-year-old in Alabama who committed suicide, LGBTQ young boy in Alabama Huntsville High School. This young man was bullied, teased, and taunted until he took his life on Thursday. Now my question was, and I got a lot of flack on this on my Facebook, where were his parents? And I'm not saying that this may have been able to be prevented, but like you said, when you get to a place of depression and despair where you think about taking your life, that's not a secret from your parents.
No.
There was nothing that I could not, my mom knew what was going on with me.
You got
Even
flack?
if it was just,
You got flack?
I did because people were saying
what was their point?
the point was, I don't even know, because to be honest, I wasn't listening, because my point was more important. Not that I think that a parent could prevent a suicide, but I kind of think they can, though. Because when you know your child and you pay attention to what's going on with them, you can't, and if this young man did not feel comfortable enough to tell his mom or dad, somebody that he knew in his home, what was going on, then that's the problem. If my son can't come to me and tell me he's being bullied or something's happening in school, then that means I'm failing as a parent. I haven't made that environment.
You ain't even got to know everything about your kid for that to happen. What you need to do is build a relationship with your kid. You ain't got to know your kid's drawers color every single time they walk out, but you better be able to have a relationship whereas your kid can walk up to you and say, yeah, I ripped my drawers today in gym. Or my dick fell out while I was doing a cartwheel. You better be able to tell your parents something.
But if you can't tell your mama Joy, then maybe you need to go to Uncle Bobby.
Whoever it is, if you as a parent, if you don't have, because
I have a hard time believing that, and if that's the case, then that's my problem.
And let me say this, because everybody just ain't able, and I know that there are some parents who just can't have those conversations. Like, it's not a moral failing as a parent if you can't have that conversation with your kid and don't feel like that. But what you need to do as a parent is make sure that your kid got somebody to talk to. That's what you need to do. That's the responsible parent thing to do. Even if you don't have it within you, you need to make sure that it's available to your kid. That's the responsibility you have. That young man killing himself in whatever fucking state it is, that don't make no sense. Yeah, where was his fucking parents? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Now you crying. That's where you are. Now you hurt. Now you upset. Now you all fucking shook.
But we knew them. Somebody knew.
Can I give a quick prelude to the mental angst of American youth? The mental angst of American youth right now is that they're living on the edge. They're living on the edge because they're living in an alter ego world, which is propelled by social media. Social media has taken these young people out of their self so badly that they don't even know how to get it back without the use of social media or a strong foundation to begin with. So you have a lot of kids that are walking around believing in their alter ego that that's who they are.
Again, and moral failing of the parents.
And once that happens, it's easy for society to penetrate a child's mind, because a child, although they're exposed to many things with the information age and everything like that, they're still children and they're not being nurtured through all of this information that's being bombarded through them, through social media, through music, through television. All of these imageries are killing our kids mentally to where they cannot focus in school, to where things that didn't matter to us 30 years ago are utmost importance to them now. I remember 30 years ago, not giving away my age, but when I was in school, the only thing that meant good things to me was making sure that I had fly kicks on, making sure I had some snacks in my bag, and I was able to keep that up because my grades was good. Now, whatever choices that I made when I came of age was my choices. But unfortunately, in this age, a lot of these kids are forced in through the peer pressure, through social media, through just wanting to be something other than who they think they are because they don't know.
Again, the moral failing of the parents.
And go ahead.
So let's put it in 2019 context. There are a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues in terms of family. Mm-hmm. That family structure has been going now for over 20 years. That's a whole generation.
Perpetually more.
The Generation X to the second power, this generation right here is why unknown. Wow. And the unfortunate piece to this is that we still in our community not having the real serious conversations as to where our child got there. And some of us don't have the mental capacity to handle it. So I'm not going to say in every case, and in many cases the parents have failed, but in every case I don't think that that's true, simply because of what we're dealing with today. Now, the molestation, particularly with our sons, that will almost never be talked about, that has to be talked about, is another filter pushing them. I'm meeting young men now, 15 to 25, who were molested when they were 3, 4, and 5. Mother present, boyfriend came in, Money Man Tuesday came in, Thursday to get us through the week, man. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, somebody different all the time. And these babies are thrust into that, and they're not just molesting the girls, they also molesting the boys. And when and the women are involved, yes, because we got a lot of teachers doing that too, and it ain't just the white ones either. So when you take the socio pressure of me going home and saying to my mother Joy, the teacher founded me today. You know, I'm John right now. Probably, but I'm John. And I go home and say to my mother Joy, I was founded today in school. Joy, like, what you mean founded? I mean, like, my pants were taken down and somebody put their hand in. I had a school 4 years ago, kindergarten class, and this is true facts. I was there. The baby took his hand, stuck it down the other baby pants, and inserted his finger into his rectum. His 2 boys. This kid was in the system. This kid was not receiving the adequate counseling that he needed. And he should have been watched a lot more closely than he was, because he already had issues. He already had that experience. If you don't train me out of that experience, that's not right. If you don't give me, and I know it's difficult.
If you don't take me out of the environment that is putting this experience in my head, because this kid got this from something other than school and boarding school.
Right, absolutely.
So even if we train the child out of that behavior at school,
Right.
that child is still going home and having that done to them. So there's not going to be an untraining until there's an environmental change.
Well, see, there was an environmental change for this child. He went to a foster family. And then the foster family, trying to give him some normalcy, sent him to school. But in his going to school, the school's responsibility with disclosure of that information, he should have had a personal aid. He should have had an IEP. And a lot of times now, parents get stuck. Special education is a disaster all over the place. But unfortunately, in the unpublic schools, their automatic answer to make a parent feel more comfortable, they had your kid in the ADHD class. Now he over here at North Star. Now he over here at Teen. He don't got no problem anymore. He's going to let him go in the regular room. Now, he can't go in the regular room because I just said he was molested. You don't have that paperwork in front of you. He can't go in the regular room. If he goes in the regular room, Donna or Joy or Brooke Jers, and I'm going to mess the name up again. He know I love him. I know I'm horrible with a name. I'm just going to call him B in a minute.
Lynn, you can still call in. You got a few minutes to call in, baby.
We're going to still, there has to have a round the clock protection. Not only for the other students, but for himself. And there's got to be some intense counseling. Now, it's difficult. The younger they are, the more difficult it is to counsel them. But there's got to be some counseling and some intervention at that point, so that the baby knows this is not what's supposed to happen. The baby has to deal with the pain. So unfortunately, sometimes with these traumatic situations, they stop verbalizing. So when they start verbalizing, how do you know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable? And there's a lot going on in our communities today that wasn't happening even 10 years ago. Our children are self-medicating. There's no question. We were just talking about the legalization of weed at the door.
We had a whole show.
Yeah, a whole show right at the door.
Wait. I did my whole show outside of Miss Donna. I'm just gonna let y'all know. I stole my interview at home.
And then that,
Joy, I'm a gorilla mind.
yes, and then that moment of us trying to make $12 because we all stuck on this fake behind. I was gonna say fake. Right. I forgot the baby out there. Right. Okay. Yeah. This fake ass reality show stuff that y'all so enthralled with, it consumes your damn life. You ain't the damn doctors. You ain't Kobe and them. You ain't T.I. and Tina. You ain't the other one either. Y'all ain't none of them. And you shouldn't strive to be one of them. And for me, the embarrassment is you heifers, this all of y'all, the housewives of Atlanta, all y'all heifers, y'all know these young girls are watching you. Why the hell every episode you fighting? You want to fight? Meet me in Champagne and Joy,
On Stratford.
Hawthorne, and Clinton Place. We right here. Come on.
All the time.
We could get it in. And then when y'all get on the show, we need you to show our ladies how, because they emulating you. I'm not a Wendy Williams fan. Because she talks shit all day long. And then our kids think they supposed to, they go to school, do the same thing.
Hide her hand.
And
And hide her hand when it's her time. When it's her time to shine. She didn't
Could you
even want to
give
step in front of
could
her
you give our
bullet.
Family some privacy
See?
while we go through this divorce.
no, you ain't do that for
No.
nobody else.
Fuck out of here.
And that's what happens. We get stuck in. So the reality for us, we trying to fake the funk, and we hurting.
That's what Reserve was saying about the young man with his social media. Not necessarily that we want to
Yeah,
but
right.
our children trying to live up to that alter ego
Right.
and not being able to do so. That's exactly what it is.
And the worst thing is that most of these sites our children are on, and we talked about this a couple of months ago on the show that we did, and we need to come back and do that, particularly now that we were talking about that suicide issue, and I'm so leery to talk about it because I don't even want to give a man, woman, or a child a way out, even talking about it, but it has to be talked about, and we have to be careful how we talk about it, because we can't get so down that we are saying, okay, that's it, I can't take no more. And I understand we get to those points. I see mothers, I see fathers, I see grandmothers who have lost their children out here, and that ain't no joke. So when you talk about juvenile reform, and you talk about, okay, so, because Malik was 12 when he shot John, he should get out. Bruh, you not getting that. Not from our community. And they think because it's the black community and we're having so many issues in Chicago and Newark and Jersey City and Patterson and Cleveland and Atlanta and Detroit, they think because we're having so many issues in our community that we in our community don't care about how those outcomes come, and we do. But we also having that conversation like how the hell the gun got here? Where the kid got the damn ammunition from? See, we having all that too. Now, who dropped that the damn off? Because I remember about 4 years ago, they found a damn tractor trailer on the side of Weekway Park with damn military-style weapons in there. So now I don't got to wonder where Raheem Pookie, my son's out there. I don't got to worry where they got the AR-5s and the AR-7s. You know, Mama Donna don't know the right name, and I'm trying to know it. I'm trying to unimplicate myself. The 9mm, the 7mm, the 3, whatever y'all got, the 357 Magnum, Clint Eastwood gun. See, I don't know. I'm just saying. But where is all of this coming from in our community? And now it's to the point in our community where our children feel they have to walk with a weapon. They have to hide it outside the school because when they coming out, hey, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen in the building. We don't want to have a conversation. The school system's so crazy, charter and public. When a weapon is found, you can't wait to tell the parents. You got to call emergency meeting. This is what happened. And then you need to help the young man or young woman who is in that situation. What's going on? What we need to do. Family intervention. Y'all got family intervention specialists. You paying all this money for people. And then the services that need to help the family reconnect don't happen. There are so many parents. Take the call. Let me just say this. There are so many parents who look to get help for their children before they get to that youth house door, before they actually, for years. And the unfortunate piece is there's not a program to send it. It doesn't need to be a boot camp. It doesn't need to be the Love and Arms. It need to be a Scare Straight combination extension core school that I'm working on, that we all gonna be staff at, and then Champagne can hug them after me whoop them. Amen to pass the ammunition of the cord. Because the core solved a whole lot of problems for us.
Amen.
Go ahead, caller.
Amen.
You got a call?
Hey, Lynn, you finally got through?
How you
Good,
doing?
good.
Hi, Lynn, how are you?
Wow. Amen.
Amen.
That's a blessing. Wow. Mm-hmm. Mm.
You can give me a call, Lisa. After this, I'll find a way for us to connect phone numbers.
Glenn.
Glenn, I'm sorry, that was the last call. My bad. I have some background in social work, not only in Newark but in Elizabeth as well, working with DIFIS, and we can talk about the reasons why the division may have placed the child in such a way, and the appeal process that you can undergo in order to try to rectify that. But you're right. There's my bad. There, when it comes to DIFIS, we all know, and I can say this because I don't work for them. There's the way they place children is not the way they should place children. They place them on a case basis, a convenience basis, but there are criteria that they use to determine whether a family is eligible or not. Have you been ruled out as a possible placement for your granddaughter? Have you been ruled out as a possible placement by the division?
No, that's the problem. I've given them everything that they needed.
So the priority should actually be with the family.
They're evil. They're not.
So y'all have my fingerprints in Trenton.
Right.
Yeah.
Came to my house, they checked the house. It's 15. I got 15 grandchildren already. I mean, really. So I'm not gonna just, make the house illegally for one child.
Right.
But with that being said, they came, they looked at it, they did everything they needed to do, and I haven't heard anything of it.
Wow.
Well, let's reach out after the show. You know me, I don't even care. Let's hook up after. I'm 973-342. They're gonna call anyway. 2697. Let's hook up yourself, and Joy, and I, and let's just
Call some
see
people,
what we
call
can
some
do, because
supervisors,
what happens
absolutely.
is DIFIS is still, I don't care what kind of transformation they think they went through. And let me just say this for disclosure, there are some excellent, outstanding workers, supervisors in the division. But the flip side of that, just like in everything else, there are some horrible, evil, and demonic
Lazy.
people that work in that system that are not for family unification. I know a very... Wow.
My granddaughter, you know what I'm saying, that they took the rights away from the mother. So you didn't treat my son right.
Right. So there
Can't
has to
strip
be
your son
something.
right.
that-
Yeah. So
There's
I mean,
something.
sometimes they get so bad you got to ride down to Trenton. I've done that a couple of times, right to the director's office, demand to see her, go in there with your paperwork, and make them do the right thing. So let's see what
I would like to, because what I'm actually doing, I'm on this call, but I'm also on the other call, still watching live.
Oh, amen. Go ahead.
That's commitment.
Okay.
I got you. Oh,
Thank you
appreciate
so
that.
much
Make
for
sure you share
calling.
live.
Yeah, share the live. Reach out
Yes,
to us, and
please
let's
share.
me, you, and Joy get together and see what we can do. I mean, listen, folks. I know we all going through a lot. There's a lot going on. Trust me. I got one graduating this year, one going in high school this year, one doing this. I got a 3-year-old granddaughter that consumes time and needs structure. We all have stuff to do, family, but we all have to come back together. We are not all disconnected as they want us to think. We're not. We are a family. You see, they just let me join the Justice family tonight.
The Freedom Team.
The Freedom Team, Justice Family.
Freedom Justice
It's all the
Team.
same thing. We
I
all
like
here
the
together.
Justice
We
Family,
together.
too.
I
That's dope.
apologize for y'all know I mess up a name. I tell you. Yes, Lynn.
Yeah, she'll send you the number. I'll make sure she, and I'll take your number down and give it to them. 'Cause I can
Okay.
see the number on the caller house.
Okay,
Thank you,
Lynn.
Yolanda. You too.
Yeah, so y'all
Was
know
that
I will
Lynn
mess
or
up a
Yolanda?
name or organization.
Oh, I'm sorry.
in a heartbeat.
By Lynn. I apologize. I was looking at Yolanda's name in the feed. She's the one that called earlier.
Okay.
And I was thanking her for calling in earlier. But
Okay.
we have, again, this is not a finished conversation. We are just beginning this conversation. But what we're going to do, we're going to bring our newest member of the Freedom Team back.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this
We're
regularly.
gonna do a 2-hour special.
Yeah. You want to do a 2-hour special?
Yes.
Okay.
We're gonna bring the cord. And we're gonna start looking for people.
We'll do that once we finish this. We'll figure out what's going on. So bring your kid.
Yeah, listen, 0 to 80, you could get it.
Just like
Because
that.
there's old people and there's elders. Old people are in the way. Elders are giving us wisdom. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to whoop no old people. But
I'll
I
do
might
that.
give you a little push.
But don't get in the way.
I'll do the old people.
Because some of you guys
I don't
are
mind fucking
hindering.
up
You
old
got them
people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got them all.
Yeah.
Word. But I
But we
want to
need
say
to do
we are going to have let's see if we can. No, next week is addiction. We'll work it out and we'll let y'all know.
Oh, Lord.
Next week we're doing
So
addiction.
I'm glad that you're doing addiction next week. I'm
7th
going
to the
to
14th.
share with Ahmad the presentation that was just given at the reentry conference.
Okay.
We need to really seriously get involved with what these predominantly white men want to do with drug addiction in New Jersey. They have a new drug called TS something, TSV, whatever it is, that they now want to give to people who are hooked on heroin and other stuff, and they want them to use this medication for 3 to 6 years. The problem I have with that is you substituting one drug for another, but they had a panel at the reentry conference at St. Peter's University last week, and they were talking about this issue for over an hour and how they want to open up these 24-hour clinics and have medicine available and this TSR, and I'm messing it up. I know I am, but I know there was 3 letters for this new medication that they want to use to supplement for the Narcan. But they want people to be on it for a long prescribed time, and I think that we have to have a serious conversation and look at how other places do it.
Yeah.
People getting high with Suboxones right now, and McGreevy kept saying, oh, we're going to use Suboxones, and we need to have more accessibility to Suboxones. No, we don't need to have accessibility to nothing. We need to get the person weaned off and then be moving. They also use the example of someone coming home from jail and having withdrawn. And I'm saying, well, how the hell a person getting, and I know there's drugs in jail, I'm not that naive, y'all. I'm just saying that if a person is incarcerated, why do they have access? Why are we allowing the drugs to continue to go in there to destroy the men and women that are in there? Because if there's no availability there, then I'm going to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And we know we could build another whole nation on the people that are incarcerated in this country, particularly the black men. And women. We could build a whole, and the brown, we could build a whole nother nation, because the mindset is there, the wealth of knowledge is there, the expertise is there. We got some ballers, in other words, up in these jails, and we got some ballers on the street, and I'm not talking about my street sons. So get y'all minds together. But we have some people that if we just were put in the right place and given the opportunity to do the things that we want to do and need to do, and stop having so many dream stealers in our community, that people can see a different way. We got some kids out here. That baby, that daughter, oh my God, that voice. You know what I'm saying? And we have so many that have so many talents that we need to foster, that we need to flourish, that we need to pour into so that they can do what they need to do. And we're not doing that.
That's right.
We need to have young entrepreneurs, middle entrepreneurs, and others. And then now, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to do the show again. But I'm going to come back and we're going to do something special. Because, look, I need y'all to get ready for this airport thing. Let me just end with this real quick. I am so tired of y'all not understanding and listening. When I tell y'all something going to happen, damn it, get your pad out, write it the hell down. The Newark Airport is being completely redone. Completely. Terminal A is going to be torn down. A brand new terminal is going up. They're already in the process of doing that. Terminal B is going to be redone. Terminal C is going to be extended. You see, they already tore down the FedEx building that was over on the Elizabeth side. That building wasn't even 10 years old yet. So I'm talking about billions and billions of dollars. The Port Authority and the Newark International Airport will be hiring anywhere from 50 to 80,000 people over the next 10 years. Malik, Pookie, Ibn, Shaquita, Alizé, Hennessy, Alice, Donna, Joy, Champagne,
Bro.
Brooke,
Don't
yeah,
forget B.
B, over here,
Uh-huh.
everybody.
Yeah.
I
it's not
need
me
us to
calling
be
Kaya.
ready, and I need our children to be ready. Now, some of my sons on the street and daughters on the street, y'all gonna smoke weed for the rest of your life. Y'all asses ain't gonna work nowhere. I'm just gonna tell you like that. There's some jobs you're gonna have a drug test. You working on my damn house, on that gas line, that water line, remodeling my damn kitchen. You ain't coming up in there and you not certified and you can't pass my drug test. If you ain't blowing up my damn house, you ain't putting my family in danger. There are just some things, and I know some of y'all, I do understand it, I've seen you. You work very well when you under the influence. Guess what? Sorry, can't help you. Because we gotta do this thing the right way. You cannot start a business under the influence. So what I'm telling you is there's opportunities. Those of you out there who've been thinking about branding something, be it clothes, makeup, baby items, eyeglasses, you know, all the stuff that y'all keep buying with damn, you know, our kids, y'all in love with Hollister, y'all in love with damn, you know, everybody. Louis Vuitton, he don't even like y'all. Y'all love Timberland, can't stand y'all behind. Because the man said if he'd have knew so many of y'all was going to buy his boots, he'd have never made them. You know, and these folks talk about y'all. You want to be in the Bloomingdale's and the Roomingdale's, and you don't want to go buy, you know, you don't want to go down to Sean store on 7th Street and buy a Zoo t-shirt. You don't want to buy B's stuff over here. He got some hats and stuff that y'all can buy. You don't want to pour into your own community. You want to buy these other people's stuff. Now, I know Jay-Z got a couple of things, and Mama Donna is not even up on that because I ain't got time. I'm at wherever the $1.99 sale is at to get my shirt and my jeans. That's where I'm going. So I'm not into the name brands and don't really care. As long as I look neat and presentable, that's all that matters to me. But those of you who are stuck on crazy, I need to see some Jamila jeans, some Hakeem jeans.
How about that?
Take your name and put them on the back of those. There are people out in the fashion industry that can help you. Stop wearing other people's stuff. My son Marty, you out there on South Orange Avenue, son. But you do have the clothing line you have started. Mama Donna got the cord. I need you to get moving. I need you to start getting it done. They got a bicycle club. I know y'all say y'all don't want to wear the helmets, but you got to. So I'm just saying that there are so many opportunities coming forth, and I know the doors are not opening now. I know the banks aren't welcoming us in, you know, those of us with the darker skin, but I'm telling you guys now, the opportunities are here. Those of you who are working in a job, you don't like it, let's build that business. And then we have to do some things in our community, like some real training. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain with us, our paperwork, even though their paperwork ain't correct, I'm not worrying about them. Our paperwork has to be in order so that we can make these dollars, so we can employ our people. I'm tired of seeing the roads being built, we not out there. I'm tired of seeing the roads being paved, we not out there. I'm tired of the buildings going up and we're not on those jobs. I just tired of seeing, not that white folks can't work, but I'm tired of seeing the white boys coming here on these construction sites, $60, $70, $80 an hour, riding past my men, riding past my women, who could be making that same dollar, investing in their family, become a homeowner, buy another home. We gotta begin to invest in ourselves. And lastly, two more things. I'm feeding the kids tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, and possibly Saturday. I put a live out before, so anybody who wants to help, holler at me. You know, the children in Newark, Irvington, East Orange, Hillside, Plainfield, etc. are out of school this week. Many of our students, even though we just talked about the lunch being nasty, many of our students, though, will not eat anything. It's the last week of the month. Times is hard for everybody, working and non-working. We getting that rent money together. We getting that mortgage money together. And we just trying to make it happen. So anybody who wants to help tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, right now, we're just going to do mobile kitchens. Where we're going to go around. I got a little bit commitment for some fruit. People making some sandwiches. And people donating cases of water. So that's all we need. I'm not trying to do no big thing. I just want to make sure that the kids have something on their stomach, because let me tell you something, hunger breeds crime. If I'm hungry, I don't got no money, I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it happen. And I just don't want our children to have to be forced into that. I said on my live before, I saw 8 kids in the Dollar Tree, and they was pocketing the ice cream, the candy, the snacks to eat. I gave them my last $8 and went in there and got some other stuff, but this is serious, it's real. And the youngest one was 7, the oldest one was 15. So you just draw the picture from there. We just need to help them. Again, getting in trouble. Again, you know, because they hungry, they gonna go in the store and steal,
Right.
depending on who the manager is and all that kind of stuff. You know, so we just got to do better to help them out. Get your summer job applications done, people. The state sent some more money in here in Newark, so we're gonna make sure that some Newark students get some jobs this year. Again, I'm pushing. Our children need to work 5 days a week at a minimum of 5 hours. The 4 days, 4 hours is not working. We need to keep them out of trouble. They've been having big fights downtown. Parents continue to talk to your children about walking away from the fight instead of going to the fight. You better tell your kids they better put them phones away, because when you videoing the assault, you as guilty as the person that did the assault. Cyberbullying is real. That case started 7 years ago with the kid that killed himself from Rutgers because he was assaulted on there. And we just need to bring some images down and do what we need to do. So family, anybody who's interested, inbox me, please. Thank you very much. Love you. I'm glad I joined the new family.
Yes.
I'm going to sign off because I know it's time, and let everybody else get their clothes. Let me get my... Y'all know I'm a little camera not ready, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to go around the room, and this is my new family.
Yes.
There's a $25 membership fee. Somebody need to inbox DMS of I and get my $25 over here ASAP. Because they accept DMS. I done changed the name.
I like it.
DMS about those. Wait.
Wait, that's right. It's DMS. Oh, all right, this is DMS. Okay, y'all, that's where I got it from. I knew it was something with that.
It was something around here.
Lord,
Something
have
brought
mercy.
you to it.
All right, Joy gonna oh wait, Joy
Yeah,
is
just
back?
do it.
Okay, come on, Joy.
So thank you so much for joining the Freedom Team. Make sure you like and share this video. We are so excited to have the new member, Donna Jackson, on the Freedom Team, the Justice family. We're all here for Newark. We love you. Please don't give up. There are people who are fighting for you every day behind the scenes. We love you. We believe in you. We believe in your business. We believe in your talent. We believe in your art. So don't give up, because people are trying to help you. Newark, we love you.
Hey man, listen, this your boy Brooke George. You already know, man. I want to say shout out to everybody listening to us on YouTube, on all these platforms right here. SWA Radio, Megastar Live. Listen, Just Joy Media. Shout outs to Donna Jackson, DBS Iman. Listen, we only a phone call away, and we mean what we say. You understand? We real. You can touch us. You gonna see us outside doing what we do, and we doing it for you because we do it with love. You know what I mean? Never be afraid to speak your truth. So when we say these phone lines is open, you call up just like everybody else called up, because we want to hear from y'all. We all family, and let's talk about it. For real, this your boy Brooke George, man. Megastar for life. Love y'all out here.
Yow.
Oh, y'all know what I'm about to say. If you were here a little bit early, if you were here for the earlier feed, then you already know what I'm about to say.
Say it.
All of y'all out here doing that, we talking and ain't we walking. Take that shit to we hawking. It's Brick City, motherfucker. We out. Everybody out there on Ustream, we love you.
If y'all wanna
SWA
get on there,
Radio,
get on the family.
GS Radio.
Yeah.
Just Joy Media,
Media.
whatever it is,
Let's
y'all.
go.
We represent all of that.
Yes.
Y'all stay tuned, because we coming with some more
And we're going to
fire.
have a membership fee for y'all to join. It ain't gonna be $25. It's about to be 50 and up.
Wait,
We're
let's
going to have
see.
tiers of membership.
Are they still here? Oh no, they
I
left.
love it.
Let's have tiers of membership. We expect y'all to join. Keep us rolling. And thank you, Lady Champagne.
Thank you to the
Here we
boss.
go. Yes, absolutely. And to everybody out here, y'all know my live is closed, but for everybody out here in the
Don't
Champagne
worry
room,
about where she at. Mind y'all
much
business.
love and appreciation. We thank you.
We had a disclosed
We thank
location.
you guys.
Don't worry about where
Make
we
sure
are.
you share the video. And for those of you who were here for the last live in the Champagne room, make sure y'all tag Kaya. Y'all make sure y'all put your hashtag Kaya, KHYA, hashtag Kaya. Kaya sings, KHYA sings, hashtag Kaya sings. That's what we doing. Your storage is full. Ustream, we out of here. We out of here.
family.
We out of here.
Send my $25.
Mama Donna on the Freedom Team, baby. Y'all better come back on the
my
14th.
$25
But
in
you
here.
coming. And y'all out, and y'all out, and y'all out, and we out.
Love y'all. Get my